Got my driver's license
today. I want to vlog my driving experience. So this is like my first video where I'm showing my face. But anyway, my driving license test is tomorrow. So nervous. Okay, so I'm waiting for my mother right now because she is gonna come fetch me so that I can go and take my photos, and then I'm gonna practice a little bit because tomorrow is my test and I'm actually so incredibly nervous. But like, okay, so on today's Sunday, no, today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, my test is tomorrow. On Saturday I had my last lesson with my instructor, but I got a new instructor on Saturday randomly, and he started like bombarding me with all of this new information that my previous instructor that I had for a year, almost a year, about none of the information that my previous instructor gave me matched the information that my new instructor gave me. And this new instructor just like bombarded me with a bunch of new information 2-3 days before my test, so I was really nervous. But we're gonna drive around the block now and go to the route and try and like just warm up a bit so that I don't feel as nervous. And I felt so good the entire day. Like I prayed to God about it. I was like, Lord, please just keep me calm. I don't want to overthink. When I overthink, then I start doing weird things. So I just want to stay calm, not think of it as like something I have to pass. Like I have to pass. I just want to relax. I know how to drive. I know what I need to do. But when I get nervous, I stop doing what I know and I start doing really weird things. It's so odd. I know what I need to do, so just gonna warm up now. Yeah, hopefully I'll be set for tomorrow. I did my makeup a little bit, nothing crazy, nothing serious, because I don't want to look crusty in my photo for my driver's license. Oh, speaking of crusty, when I went to book my driving test, I took the photo at the traffic department and the pictures came out so horribly. Like I was appalled when I saw those pictures. Like it was so bad. So I'm so glad that I get to take pictures again that will actually be on my physical driver's license. So hopefully it all goes well. I'm so excited. I really hope that I get my license. It will be a success. It's God's plan. It will happen. It will be a success. I will get my driver's license tomorrow. My test is also in the morning. My instructor is fetching me at 8 a.m. So I don't have time to think tomorrow. It's just wake up and we go. That's what I like, because then I don't have time to get in my head. I can't psych myself out. You know, just wake up and you go. And as long as I don't overthink, I'm good. As long as I don't overthink, don't get nervous. Just think of it as I'm driving by myself and there's like a stranger in the car, you know, that's like mocking me or whatever. It's just me and I'm just doing everything that he says. I'm following the instructions. Got this. So now I'm going to practice my driving. I have to be very quick because there are cars. So I'm gonna practice there and also practice the route. This is tomorrow's destination. And I'm getting tested over there. I'm so nervous but excited. Okay, so it's the morning of my test. I first have a 1-hour lesson with my instructor and then test starts at 10 a.m. I went through everything this morning and I feel okay. I feel calm. I prayed about it. I feel very calm. And I just have to display what I know. No stress. Today I get my driver's license. Am I nervous? No. Okay, time to go. I'm in the bathroom now. My test is about to start. I think best. I also really wanted to film the testing grounds, but my instructor said that wasn't allowed, unfortunately. Okay, I'm back and I passed! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I was so nervous this morning. Well, I wasn't actually that nervous this morning. I was more nervous yesterday and then the days leading up to today, because I wasn't sure if I was fully prepared. I didn't feel fully prepared, especially to drive on the road. I was confident in my parkings because I've been doing that for like months now. I was confident in my incline, so I knew that was gonna be fine. I was only worried about driving on the road and having to do like all my checkings, my observations, and having to check the mirror like every 5 seconds and making sure that I knew what to do at the robots, when to only move into first gear and to not ride the clutch, things like that. Like all of those small things I was nervous about because I didn't practice much on the road because I was scared to drive on the road. But I mean, today was great. I feel like today was a breakthrough in how I drove because I felt like I knew what I was doing. I felt extremely confident. I wasn't scared. I felt established on the road. Basically, I didn't feel like I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I felt like I knew what to do and I was meant to be there, and I knew what I was doing while I was there. I wasn't just like doing nonsense. So I thought that maybe I could do a debriefing, well, not even a debriefing, but like a summary of my journey. I made notes because I've been taking lessons since 2023, but then I took a huge gap in 2024 because I think I was overwhelmed with the driving in 2023 and I didn't really enjoy my lessons that much. Not because of my instructor or anything, but I was just like really nervous, like just learning all these new things, the parkings, and then like driving on the road, learning how to use a clutch, accelerator, brake, all of these things, and just getting to know a car was a lot of information. A lot of information was thrown my way and I felt overwhelmed. So I think I didn't enjoy the process that much. And I noticed that this year with my driving lessons I felt more comfortable because I knew how to work the car and I knew my parkings, and it was like revision more than like learning a bunch of new things, except for these last few days where I learned a bunch of new things. But at least I know how to drive a car now, so it was like adding on to what I already knew, and I know a lot, so that was fine. I started driving in 2023. I keep saying I started my driving lessons in 2023. It was like late in the year, so close to December, and then my instructor asked, do you want to continue your lessons in December, or do you want to take a break and then continue in January? And I was like, take a break, girl, take a break, because I was like so ready to be done with those lessons. And I took about 7 lessons at that point, and I was like, let's just take a break, let's take a breather. Can I enjoy my December? Can I enjoy my Christmas, etc, etc? That break extended until the end of 2024 and then I was like, oh my gosh, my learner's license is going to expire in July. I need to get on this driving thing. And so then I took my driving seriously. I was like, let me book my lessons, let me, go to my lessons, let me book my test, get everything sorted. And I did that. I took 4 more lessons. Initially in 2023 I registered for 10 lessons, and then I only took 7, right? And then I had 3 lessons left, but I took 4. I ended up taking 4. My driving school booked 4 lessons for me instead of 3. Yeah, they booked 4 lessons because it was the 3 that I already paid for, and then they booked an extra one. And those were my 4 lessons, just to brush up on everything and then learn the new extra things that I didn't learn in 2023. And so I did that, booked my test for the 1st of April, which is today. And then there was a gap, like a month gap between my last lesson. My last lesson was in February, then I had the whole of March to myself, and then my test was today. So that gap was actually very helpful because I just went on like driving lessons but with my mom instead of with an instructor. So I was excited to drive. I was like, yes, I'm just gonna be with my mother. It's not gonna be anything stressful. I'm not with a stranger. I'm not with someone who has like expectations, or at least my mom had expectations, but like she's my mom, like I'm comfortable with her. The driving was so nice. I just drove with her and I practiced my parkings with her. I practiced everything until I felt solid. Today's Tuesday. On Saturday, my last official lesson, my last like official learning lesson was on Saturday, and it was 2 hours. And that's when my new I got a heads up that I got a new instructor. I saw my new instructor and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine. I'm not worried about that, until he started bombarding me with a lot of new information that my previous instructor did not teach me at all. And I was like so overwhelmed because now I had to do like road checkings. Then he was like, now I'm gonna teach you hand signals. Then he was like, do you know the emergency lights? And I was like, emergency stop. He was like, do you know the emergency stop? And I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna be ready for Tuesday? Today's Saturday. Am I gonna know all of these things by Tuesday? We did, clearly, because we passed. But I was like so overwhelmed, but I wasn't pessimistic. I wasn't feeling negative. I was just like, okay, this is a lot of new information, but I'll practice it. I'll be fine. We went to the actual driving route. We went over the route once, and then we went through my parkings again, and he was giving me new information with parkings as well, new like observations that I had to do. I was like, ugh, but I did it. And also with the inspections, the outside inspections, I was saying all my inspections, and he was like, what about this, what about that, what about this? I was like, what, stop. I felt so overwhelmed, but overall it was okay. Okay, now for the fun part. Pictures. Actually fun, it was a bit stressful. I did not like the photos that I took for when I had to book my driver's test. I took my pictures outside the testing center in like a booth, and the pictures came out so horribly. Like, I'm not even gonna blame the guy or his camera or whatever, but I don't know, I don't even want to blame my face. I think the angle was just horrible. Like, the angle that he took the picture at was just really bad. So my face looks so weird in that picture, and I hate that picture so much. I looked so bad in those pictures. So like, what the heck? But thankfully those are not the pictures that are gonna be on my driver's license, so I'm grateful for that. So yeah, speaking of my driver's license, I went to go and get my pictures done yesterday because I wanna, like, my mom told me you can only renew this thing every 5 years. So I was like, yeah, I'd hope to get a nice picture now so that I don't have to every time look at that and be like, ugh. Like, my ID photo looks, my ID photo, horrendous, but thankfully I don't have to look at that picture much in my life. I'm not gonna have that with my driver's license. I want to have a nice picture just for the funsies. Like, I want a nice picture. We went yesterday to get the pictures. We went to this one internet cafe, and the lady took the picture. I did not like the picture at all. I looked freaking weird, which is crazy because that's the same internet cafe I went to the first time to take my first ID photos, and it's the picture of me with the blonde hair, and I liked it. I liked those pictures. The pictures came out nicely, so I was like, I can trust them. I can go back to them to get good pictures. We went yesterday. The picture came out so badly, and then on top of that, like, their printing machine wasn't working, and I was like, this is God's sign. This is God telling me you are not getting these photos. Deep in my heart, seriously, I was so upset. And 80 rand, we would have had to pay 80 rand for those pictures, and I was like, phew, I don't want these pictures at all. I was rejecting. My heart was like burning. I hate it. Like, it was that deep. It's not that deep, but like, it was that deep yesterday. So we gave up on that, and then we decided to just get the pictures from a different internet cafe. And another nice lady was working there, and she took my pictures. She allowed me to take the pictures on my phone and then just send it to her, and the pictures came out so great. Look how good they came out. I'm actually very satisfied. The pictures looked so good. I was so happy yesterday. I couldn't stop looking at them, and that's how I like to feel. Like, I don't like to look at my picture and then feel repulsed by it. Like, I want to keep looking at it. That's how I know that I like the pictures, when I want to keep looking at it, keep revisiting it. It's not that deep. I feel like I'm making this like it's a big issue, but it's really not that deep. But I just wanted a nice picture. Like, let it go, love. So I got the pictures, and turns out my instructor told me that at the testing center, once you pass and you get your driver's license, they take a picture there of you. So I was like, what? Take these pictures for no reason? And he was like, yeah, but he said that it's okay, it's not that deep. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. And at least I had a bit of makeup on, so I didn't look musty, rusty, crusty. I looked just fine for the pictures, whatever. And my pictures don't look that bad. But anyway, I'm just happy that the pictures came out nicely, and I have 4 new ID photos that look nice, and I can use them for something, I guess. But yeah, that's the whole story with the pictures. Okay, so I just want to talk about the testing procedure and everything, how that went down today. I had my lesson from 8 to 9, and then my instructor was like, okay, let's walk around, let's stretch, you know, just to ease the tension and, like, you know, relax your muscles, whatever, so you don't feel tense up. And I didn't feel nervous at all. Like, I didn't feel scared or anything, and I owe that to God. Yo, I prayed so much about it. I asked God to just keep me calm. Like, this isn't a do or die. And you know, one thing that my dad said to me this morning that really, like, calmed me down, he was like, it's not a do or die situation. Like, it's not the end of the world if you don't pass. If you don't pass, it's fine, you don't pass. It's nothing crazy. And I was like, you know what, it isn't anything crazy. It's just a driving test. Like, if I don't pass, I can just take it again. But the thing is, I didn't want to take it again because it's freaking expensive, man, to keep going and booking tests and hiring cars and hiring driving schools, like, to go. It's a lot of money, and I didn't want to waste that money. So I was like, let me just get it one time and get it done and over with, you know, over and done with. What my dad said really helped ease my nerves this morning or helped me not get nervous. And praying to God, of course, God just gave me that indescribable peace, calm. So I was like, why am I not nervous? I was like, thank you, Lord, that I'm not nervous at all. Even standing there watching other people getting tested and watching other people, you know, pass or fail, blah, blah, blah. I was like just calm, and I was like, I know what to do. Even with the new information that my instructor taught me this morning, hand signals, oh my gosh, like I was feeling flustered when he gave me all the information and we practiced it. I was like, well, like, you know, short circuiting or whatever, but I wasn't nervous. I was calm because I knew that I was gonna get this driver's license. Anyway, the testing procedure, so I got there early, around ish or so. I went and signed in, and then I just waited for them to call my name. Then they called my name. I met with the test administrator, that's what you can call him. He was really nice, and then he just introduced himself to me, and then I introduced myself to him, and then he said, okay, we're gonna start with this. He was so clear, like so happy energy, not like an intimidating aura or an intimidating energy. Like he didn't come off in that way. He came off very nice and humble and kind. I felt very comfortable. So then he basically said, okay, we're gonna do your outside inspections, then we're gonna do the inside inspection, and then we're gonna drive there. He just instructed me on everything that we were gonna do. So then I did my outside inspections, that he was busy ticking in his book, and I just made sure to like say everything slowly, because what I tend to do when I'm nervous is like rush through the sequence or rush through whatever I'm doing just so I can get like done with it, so I can be done with it. Why you shouldn't do that is that it leaves less time for you to think clearly about what you're gonna say, and then you just start rambling, or I just start saying like nonsense or whatever. I skip things. I caught myself speaking too fast in the beginning. I was like, and I was like, slow down, girl. And so I slowed down, and I made sure that I was looking at the card to make sure I got every single point that I had to say. We did the inspections, and I got in the car, and he was like, okay, you can start. We did all the inspections, whatever, and then he was like, okay, you can start the car. Then we started driving, and then we went straight to parkings first, and then I did my 3-point turn first, and then I did my the way it's set up is so that it's convenient for you to drive, but I just 3-point turn, then it was alley docking, then it was parallel, then it was alley docking, and then parallel again. Something, yeah, that's the order. Yes, that's the order. So that's how I did it. And then after that we went straight onto the road. My yielding was good because I was also nervous about the yielding. I practiced that with my mom because I was like, I don't want this car to stop while I yield, like every time. Or like when I get nervous, it's either I do some nonsense with the gears, or I just start doing weird things by the feet. When I get nervous, I just start doing nonsense. It's so annoying. Literally with my instructor this morning, I was driving perfectly fine, and then an hour into the lesson or so, or like 40 minutes into the lesson, I started doing nonsense with the gears. Like every time I had to shift to gear 3, I was shifting to gear 1. For what? And then the car would go, and it was like, and you know, I didn't let that phase me. I didn't let that stress me out because I had no issues during the test with gear shifting. Everything went perfectly fine. So yeah, my instructor, I almost said my instructor prepped me with the route that we were meant to take. But during the test, the driving administrator said, no, we're gonna go straight. We were supposed to turn left because I knew the route, but he was like, oh no, go straight. I was like, oh, okay, we're taking a new road. Great. We took a new road. I just did everything as I know, and I drove, and I just followed his instructions. I knew my left from my right. Didn't make any mistakes there this time. I drove slowly, made sure to pay attention, and made sure to do my checkings. Oh my gosh, I learned about my observations in the road. Like at pedestrian crossings, you look left and right, you look center, middle, left, and then right. And then at the 4-way crossing or something like that, you look right and then left. But anyway, I learned about those observations like on Saturday, so I didn't get much time to practice them in the actual road. It wasn't muscle memory for me. It wasn't something that I just knew how to do easily, so I had to be, it was like a conscious effort I had to put in every time to do my observations, do your observation every time. So I just had to be really focused to make sure I paid attention to the road, because it was so easy for me. Like once I started drifting in my mind, like not paying attention to the road, like I would miss those so much. So in the test, I made sure to be focused, and I think I only missed like 1 or 2. I'm not really sure. Oh, what I also wanted to mention was that this morning my instructor was also teaching me new things as I was driving on the road, and like with my observations and stuff, and with my parkings, like I said earlier. But at that point I was like, I'm not gonna overwhelm myself with a bunch of new information. You know how you like when you have a test and then your friends start talking to you about what they studied or what they think is gonna be in the test. Like I don't like listening to all that, because now you're gonna make me stressed, or they start asking you what's the definition of this, what's no things like that can easily fluster you. Then you're like, oh wait, but I didn't study that. And then you can like spiral or unravel. So I prefer to just block it out, or I will listen to you, but then I will just ignore what you say at that point, because I'm not gonna start to psych myself out like, oh, I don't know this, I don't know. So when you were saying new things, I was just like taking it in, but I was like, I'll only apply this if it's necessary, because I'm not gonna stress myself out trying to do everything my instructor said. You know what I mean? Like with the hand signal thing, my instructor taught me that this morning, and he was like, for your right hand signal, you're gonna do your half observation, then you're gonna check your blind spot, then you're gonna stick your hand out the window, then you're gonna leave for 3 seconds, then you're gonna so I had to learn it this morning, and then I had to prep how I was gonna actually like practically do it, because it's one thing to know what to do and then another thing to actually apply what you've learned, because sometimes what you know doesn't translate to what you actually show and what you do. So that was a bit stressful, but we got it. Because like even now when I mentioned the hand signal thing to my parents after my test, they were like, what, for first time driving you have to do hand signals? What? Like it didn't make sense to them. And I was like, well, yeah, we had to do it. And in my test, the driving administrator said your right hand signal, and thankfully I got it. But yeah, that's basically everything for my driving test day. I'm just grateful that I passed and that I don't have to repeat this again, because my learners expires in July. And imagine if I didn't get another test date, I probably would have gotten one, because I saw that there's like at least one every month. But imagine just doing the whole process again of having to go and study for the learners, and then go take your learner's test, and then book your driving test, and then come for your driving lesson, you maybe do driving lessons, and then actually do the driving test again. I was like, I better get this license today, because I am not going to do this again. I do not want to do it again. So I'm just glad I'm a driver now. I can drive now, and this chapter is closed on a happy ending, on a happy note. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.